My name is Mark Rothrock. I served in the Navy from 1976 to 1982. I was an electrician's mate and was very involved with all types of electrical equipment, and also had the opportunity to work very closely with bosun's mates, who are the backbone of the Navy, and rope workers. And I found that rope work was a very interesting way to express art.
Although we are sitting by your incredible Mustang here, we're going to talk first about your art and the importance of creating art for you. So go ahead, sir.
And I have always liked art. I liked art from the time I was a child, and sort of gave it up during the military and during my career working. I was an electrician and other things all along the way. But then I found that art is such a easy way to express myself when I have concerns about the environment, things like that. I use art many ways. I learned a lot of art in the military from bosun's mates doing rope work and things like that on the ship, and found that that was a really interesting art. And it is an art form. And I use it all the time, not only in artwork, but also at home on the handrails and different things like that. And I use it to make macrame plate hangers and all kinds of things like that. It's a very therapeutic art method, because you're constantly working with your hands. It's a constant thought about what's happening, and gives you a real appreciation of completing an item, even when it's not a real difficult thing. And it's inexpensive. Anybody can do it for dollars. You know, you can do a really nice art form with that. I also really like working with metal in different ways, because it reminds me of my electrician's mate period, when I would use copper wire and make things for the sailors. I'd make little items of one kind or another, a little retrospective on the prisoner of war and what it means to a person when they're faced with that option and someone has you in their hands, and you have to, it's not like being a prisoner, you have to be an American, and you have to maintain being an American even through the threat of death, the threat of anything. And I really found that after meeting some prisoners of war, that it was super important that people remember that these people went through this business. And I don't know, it's just very difficult, and it makes me very emotional, I think, to think of those poor guys, you know. And it could have been me, it could have been you, you know, and it might be any of us at any time. And my last one was the Eiffel Tower, which is just a fun thing that I made using macrame and ship art. And it's just a romp and lovely to look at, the little people that I made out of metal and things. It's just fun. I've done quite a few items around the Clear Lake Hitch, because it's an endangered species that's in Lake County, that was at one time the primary food source of the Homo Indian.
Talk about your blackboard Mustang.
Okay, about 30 years ago, my son and I built this thing. He was driving a 68 Thunderbird, which most of us remember, with the little flip-up headlights and things. Mm-hmm. And he drove it to high school when he was 16, and a rock truck crashed into it and smashed the whole side of it. So I picked this up in San Jose for $1,500. It was originally a little 6-cylinder Mustang. Picked it up in San Jose, and brought it to Antioch, and put all of the equipment from the 68 Thunderbird into this Mustang. So it has a 429 7-liter motor, and a big transmission and a big rear end, and more power than you would want to have. But we painted it blackboard paint because it's just too much fun.
Well, and let's talk about fun, because you got a bunch of kids right here who are just having a great time. It's a great idea. And Maria, could you tell me about the pieces to your right?
Sure, sure. So this I carry with me at most displays. I have my cross that I did at VetArt, and then my other cross, which is my rainbow cross. We're all children of God, and I represent this community. I wanted to make sure that I explain the oversized rosary is made with the leaves and the flowers from my mom's funeral. So I incorporated that into my rosary here. This won second place in another gallery display that we had last year. I'm getting ready to display another item at the same gallery.
Could you explain to us how creating art has helped your mental health?
Sure, sure. I do believe that art is a form of a prescription opposed to taking medication. For me, this has helped me to relax. I don't have as much anxiety as I used to have. I'm able to get out of bed. I'm able to interact with other veterans, other individuals in the community. And I've seen other veterans within the VetArt community also do very well. For myself, I think that this has been one of the greatest experiences after retirement from the Army.
What are you doing here?
It's event photography for Mendocino PopUp Creative Arts.
And did you serve in the military?
Yes, I did. I served 26 years as a Navy hospital corpsman stationed with the Fleet Marine Forces.
Wow. And what is healing about doing all this work?
Art has me focusing on, in my case, photography, which is framing and capturing of an event. So when I take pictures, it helps me just focus on those elements.
Right on. Well, thanks for being here. I love your work.
Well, thank you so much for having me.
Bye.
Hi, Robert.
Hi.
Could you tell us who you are and the branch of the military that you served in, what you did in the military, and what you did after you got out?
Hi, my name is Robert Louis Permenter. I was in the United States Army. I also served in Desert Storm. My job, for those that know it, was a 19 Delta reconnaissance. So we were the very first ones on the scene. And after I got out of the military, I only did one term. And after I got my honorable discharge, I kind of wandered around in life, kind of looking for the world, not really knowing where I really fit. Until I found my way to Mendocino, and I found a beautiful woman, and she helped me to survive. And you know, and instead of rejecting art, this community here opens their arm to it. California opens its arms to it.
Robert, can you talk a little bit about the piece that's in back of you? Because that to me looks like a self-portrait.
That is a self-portrait. This is about epilepsy and art. I have epilepsy now. I just recently started getting seizures, 2017, and out of the blue, grand mal seizure. I'm not sure what to attribute it to, but the doctors, you know, we go back and forth about it. But yes, this is a self-portrait, and it's about my experience in the military and life, really. And art helps me do that. Art helps me tell my story about life.
So how has it helped your mental health? Creating this beautiful art, how does it help you with your mental health? Does it calm you down?
It gives me focus. It gives me focus, and it helps me to a place to put those frustrations. You know, when you have those frustrations that build up, that you know we all get, but you know some of us get a little worse. Some of us have PTSD. Having PTSD and having been diagnosed with PTSD, and with epilepsy and desert storm syndrome and a whole list of other things, you know, you need a place to put those frustrations. You need a place to like send those things. And you know, you can't send them to your life. You can't send those things out in the world, because you know that leads to depression, and that leads to anxieties, and all those things are really bad for all of my disorders. So I have to stay positive, and art helps me stay positive.
Excellent. Thank you, sir. Can you tell me the incredible story about the painting that you are painting right now?
Well, everyone has a very important person in their life. This man happened to get me out of one of those schools, you know, one of those schools that they talk about, that they put kids in. And well, let me pull out my accent for you. I'm actually from the Deep South, and that school is down in Mississippi. But you know, I moved to California after I got out of the Army, but this man right here, he was my stepfather. And when I knew him, before he passed away, when he was young, he was a shrimper. And in Vietnam, he was a medic in the 101st Airborne. That was some really treacherous territory.
Yes, it was.
And this man did a superlative job there as a medic, you know, caring for other people, not necessarily being there the one who takes the action. But he still has to deal with the same kind of heavy duty, all the stuff that all of us have to deal with. I went into the military to get away from Mississippi, and I came to California to find art. But this man taught me how to be a man. This is the one who gave me some strength. When I was down in the bayous and the tropical storms, believe it or not, I don't care, but this man used to bring us home in those storms, safely to the dock. I can't watch those movies. I don't even watch Forrest Gump, because the last time I did the tropical storm scene, they shot pretty well. They did that pretty good. This is my stepfather, and he was a superlative human being.
Excellent. Thank you, Robert. You can go ahead and continue to paint him, sir.
The greens are hard anyway, but the OD green is one that will fool you. When we think of green, everybody thinks of blues and yellows. A lot of those tricky little greens are actually black and yellow. It's that dirty, ugly, dirty green.
So how long do you think it will take you to complete his portrait? And how long ago did you start painting this?
I started, Gabby, about 2 weeks ago. My wife's over there. Yeah, I'm almost done. I've been waiting for this event.
He's been having surgery. We've been going to the SFVA a lot, so it's been on pause. But when he gets right into it, he gets right into it.
And he told me the significance of the man in the photograph
Yes,
and why it's important to him.
Wayne Noble.
It's awesome. Well, thank you, Robert, so much for telling us your story.
Art has really positively affected my life. Art has solidified those loose ends I had. All those things I needed, all those ends I needed tying. All those joints that needed fastening, you know, inside of a person. It helps you, it gives you a place where you can put those frustrations. It gives you a place to when you can't grab anything else, you can grab the canvas and you can drop some paint on there and you can swish some paint around. And that does more for you than you know. that does a lot for your psychology. That does a lot for your, just to take some paint and just to be able to do whatever in the hell you want with it. And doing whatever in the heck I wanted with paint is the way my life and my wife have helped me to survive.
That's awesome. Thank you, sir, for allowing us to tell your story. Thank you so much. Really appreciate you. Appreciate what you've gone through. Thank you.
Shining in the sunlight, them roaring engines headed somewhere in flight. They're taking you away, and they're leaving me lonely. Them silhouettes, fading out of sight. Chris Betty on the fiddle. Shining in the sunlight, them roaring engines headed somewhere in flight, and they're taking you away, and they're leaving me lonely. Them silhouettes, fading out of sight. I bid you please, baby, don't go. Don't you take the airplane ride. But you locked me out of your mind and left me standing.
Darren, what do you think is different about this event here?
What I think different about this one, for starters,
educators with a GI Bill in clever ways of
the music sets a different type of ambiance, and we have this typical, and I don't like to stereotype people, but we have a veteran over here spinning his heart out in his music. That's so powerful when you sit and listen to it. Almost brings tears to my eyes. But the very well organized, very nice flow of people, constant flow of people coming through. And everyone is just so supportive, and it's really nice to see Colin here. Colin's one of the original members of VetArt. And to see what he's created anew and some of the stuff I've seen. But man, his work is just so detailed. All from a paint can. Who would have thought to turn a paint can into art? Our veterans do. He's got a wonderful story to tell. And you know, and if you look at his kind of logo here, I mean, you look at the logo and you look at Colin and you go, that's him.
I just said that earlier to
It's
the kids.
him.
I asked the kids, it's like, do you like his stuff? And they're like, yeah, it's really cool. I said, doesn't he kind of look like that? And they're like, I said, you can say it. I got your back. I got your back.
Yeah, I think that was intentional, yeah? I don't know, was it?
Maybe not fully, but you know.
It really works well, Colin.
I'm trying to lose the resemblance in the midsection, but
see, he's got these blank ones that you purchase, and he'll decorate them. You know, you give him some idea, and he has the freedom to come up with these wonderful masterpieces.
I just noticed these are tiny.
Oh, there's even teeny tiny ones. I didn't even see those.
Tiny.
I can have different price points for it. So really, if you got $5, you can buy something at this table.
Dude, I thought those were gummies. So, Collins, what do you think about this event this time? You've been to a few of them. What's different?
What's different? I was gonna just tell you what I felt about it, but what's different is another question.
Eat a jar of sleeping pills.
The weather's beautiful.
Lay down, hoping to be still.
One thing, just kind of amongst the trees.
Oh, let a freight train fit the bill.
There was, I will say, there was some problem solving with putting the panels up on uneven ground, but we worked it out fine. I don't know how to explain it. It's like maybe a small town type of feel to this, whereas I mean some of the other towns have also been sort of smaller towns, but this really has not even small towns, it's got a wholesome feel. That's the word I was looking for. I don't know, I think maybe it's the area and the fact that there's a farmer's market right behind us.
It's really steep.
You've got one of the community restaurants providing the food, and they're here and interacting with us. And it's all very organic. Everything's been smooth from the setup to, you know, we had an extra spot. We have a Marine veteran just came in.
As the flames are reaching high,
and he's part
that's
of
a rough
it too,
way
you know?
to
It's
expire. Why not greet the western flyer?
Embracing change and just
Going with the flow.
Just doing it.
Baby.